Okay, so I got through the uh, Google fundamental training units 3 and 4, um, and everything that we learned or that they taught us in there, I suppose I knew you could do. I just didn't realize how easy it was. Um, Not that it wasn't a learning experience, but I'm just going through those lessons and seeing what even just those two little bits with making your classroom and the Google Docs, spreadsheets, the PowerPoint, all that. It's just kind of making me realize that even though I am perfectly happy being as analog as possible in my personal life, as a teacher, I'm only hurting myself if I do not embrace this technology. Um, so I will be going through and completing all of the training. I don't know that I will spend the money to test out until maybe my last semester before I go off and teach, only so that I can keep that certification for as long as possible. And I'm sure that having that certification or any certification is going to make me more marketable as a teacher. It's padding your resume. The more you can do and the more you can prove that you can do is just making you more valuable. But even more important than just getting a job from this training, I think the piece of paper or the certification is great. It'll help me get a job, but actually really knowing how to use these things and how to utilize all this training is just going to give me or anyone so much more autonomy. If you can do it yourself, what are the odds that people are going to say no to you? How much more can I do as a teacher? More independently can I create lesson plans and activities that I may not be able to do otherwise? Or it might take more work, and so a school or a school district might be not as willing to embrace a new idea or strategy if they have to devote resources to it. But if I can do it myself, then I'm just more able to tailor my lessons and my projects and assignments for my students to what I think they need and what I think would be most beneficial. It's just going to make me better at what I do, and that's really more important than finding a job. We're all going to get done here, and whether it's the school we want to be at or not, we are going to find jobs. We are going to start somewhere, and I just want to be sure that wherever I start, I'm going to do the best, be the best, and give the most opportunities to my students to really learn something and really embrace the lessons that I'm trying to create. And by using something like Google Drive and Google Classroom and be able to make all of my assignments available on there, just making it as streamlined and intuitive as possible is that's less time I have to worry about finding all of the assignments or grading them, or it just makes everything faster. It gives me more time to fine-tune those lessons and plans to make them what I want to be and what the students need or will best respond to. For my project, my use of it, I kind of killed two birds with one stone, and I used Google Slide for an assignment for my human growth and development class to make a poster about brain development in infants and toddlers. So I got some good practical use out of it, and I liked it. It was just as fine as any of the Microsoft Office tools. They're not too much different. I think Microsoft Office might have more options as far as the vanilla service, but Google has so many add-ons and modifications that you can explore, and I could probably, if I spent the time, get more out of any of the Google services because of that. I didn't take all the time to explore the add-ons, but I was happy with the products that they offered. Outside of just specifically what Google offered and what we went over in this module, I'm just learning more and more how little I know, and it's scaring me a little bit because I'm going to be teaching high school, and students not only smell fear, but you don't come in having them respect you, and nothing makes it more difficult for a student to respect what you have to say or trust that what you are trying to teach them or what assignments you are providing are useful or worthwhile for them to really try, than if you don't seem like you know what you're doing. I guess I can't remember a specific example, but I promise all of my high school teachers at one point or another were trying to pull up an assignment or a video or something, and they were having difficulty with it, and it only takes a few seconds before you realize that, oh, they're lost, and you've tuned out for the class or a good chunk of the class. And I don't want to be that teacher. I want to be ready to go. I want to have my lessons ready and easily accessed, because that's just what they do in class. That's just the assignment. That's just studying for the test or whatever, where you really have the opportunity to teach them and help them grow is with all the other stuff. Whenever they come to you with a question about their assignment or have you look over something that they are doing. And that's what I would like to have as much time as possible for, is to do the extra for my students. And being certified in Google Drive, the Google Teaching Fundamentals, or anything else, any other program or subject is good for getting a job, but I don't know that just going through it is going to make me know it. And that's what I want to do, is I want to know what I'm doing. I don't want to just have the paper tell me. I want to know. And that was probably the most important thing I learned in this module, is that I am also going to have to take the extra time to know my assignments, to know my materials, to know the technology I am using as in-depth as possible, so that I can just immediately take care of those issues as they pop up. And by doing so, I have more time to fine-tune my own assignments and fine-tune my classroom and my students' needs.